A friend of mine sent me this, and I literally, and I hate saying that, literally thought it was a joke and needed to get more evidence that this was actually true. And it is apparently true, and it might be enough to really piss people off. I'm not sure if you're familiar, but there was a volcano eruption, a really big one. There was actually multiple on the Caribbean island of St. Vincent. And you think to yourself, okay, well, just get off the island, right? Well, look, first take a look at how bad this is.
An evacuation frenzy. That's what the government in the tiny Caribbean island of St. Vincent is saying tonight after two massive volcanic eruptions. The first one happened early this morning. Video shows La Soufrière spewing ash almost 6 miles into the air. Authorities say at least 20,000 people close to the volcano are being evacuated. But with the heavy ash, you can barely see anything. So it's really making the process much more difficult. Then a few hours ago, it got worse. Another major eruption. This plume, not as big as the first, but they say it could be an ominous sign. The scientists at the West Indies Seismic Center say eruptions could continue for weeks or months.
I mean, it might not look bad to you because you don't see the fire and all that stuff, but these are small islands. If you're on that island, you're definitely wanting to get off because all of that smoke and stuff you're breathing in. But you can't get off the island if you really want to. You know why? Because you need to have the jab in order to get off the island and get onto an evacuating cruise ship. That's right. So in other words, if you're not jabbed, they will leave you for dead. Can you believe that? People on the Caribbean island where a volcano went off are being evacuated onto cruise ships, but not without the jab. So if you don't have the jab, guess what? Oh, well, are you kidding me? Hi. There's people, I mean, this is almost like the scenario where, you imagine you're like on a life raft and you have room on your life raft. You just say you're by yourself and you have a huge raft and there's someone drowning in the water. It could be your worst enemy. Are you going to leave him there to die? You probably wouldn't. I wouldn't. And I have quite a few people I'm not very thrilled about here on YouTube. I would lend them a hand and bring them on board because I wouldn't allow it to happen. But this is the same as saying, well, wait a minute, have you got the jab? No, I haven't, but I'm drowning here. Yeah, no, I'm gonna have to say goodnight. What? Oh! And they drown under the water because they didn't get the jab. So they're leaving people here. This is the unthinkable. The unthinkable. That literally people who have a chance to be rescued onto these cruise ships are not being allowed. They're being denied like they are some type of criminal. Just think of another scenario. What if there was like Jeffrey Dahmer and Ted Bundy and a bunch of very bad criminals were on the island and the island was just catching fire and all the debris was coming down and these people might die, could choke on ash. Because now they're saying the island is completely uninhabitable. So say these people are standing there and they're like, help me, please. I guarantee you they would say, all right, well, we can't. The humanitarian thing to do here would be to let them on the ship. Even though they're bad people, we got to let them on. But in the case of this, in the case of the jab, you are not allowed on the ship. You can't make it up. When are the people going to rebel? Because a rebellion, an uprising or something does need to actually occur in this instance. Because this is insanity. Insanity. We've let these elites take everything. They run all of these industries. Nobody, this is the thing that they've deceived people with. Oh, you could be whatever you want, do whatever you want. I always say that. But it's the truth. You can't. You can't. You need to be in these bloodlines and these secret societies. It's a fact. What do you think? Some guy just was like, you know what? It would be really cool, right? Like we get boats and we go around the whole Caribbean. People pay to come on the boat. Oh, yeah. What a great idea. All you need is $1 trillion to build the boat. Oh, well, I could find that somewhere. The bank will loan it to me. Huh? All these people who are in control, have the resources and the power, are just putting their foot down and stomping out the rest of the world. And I was thinking about it last night, because usually when I lie in bed, I just get anxiety and my brain runs. And I was thinking to myself how I could explain just how ridiculous, the Central Intelligence and all these agencies are, because all they've done is pass all these bills where they've told you that we have to watch out for the boogeyman over in the caves in the other countries, and that they need to take away all of our rights as far as spying and looking into people, being able to, the Patriot Act and everything else, being able to access your computer and go through all your files and have cameras in your home and everything else to protect us from the boogeyman. The reason they really do that? It's not because they're afraid of the boogeyman, because the boogeyman doesn't exist. Who are they afraid of? They're afraid of you and me. That's why they monitor us, to make sure we stay in line and follow orders, because they know if people figure out what's going on, that they're doomed. That's why they want to grab all those things that go bang, bang, because they don't want people to be able to do anything about anything. That's why they monitor us, because they fear us, because there's more of us than them. And if they keep pushing stuff like this, people will wake up. But they've realized that the younger generations, the teens and the 20-year-olds, are so dumb that they've convinced these people that they're empowered, that they're going to make a difference, that they're going to change the world. I saw a commercial for the Army. I'll have to do a separate video on it, where they're talking about 20-year-olds and how, the world is a mess and it's their job to fix it. They're the ones who have made it a mess, because they're the ones who have followed along with this elite propaganda. They're the ones who are going and creating the cancel culture and the taking away of rights and the pulling of the bang bang weapon things. I mean, it's unbelievable. But they fear us, because they know that if people wake up, that this whole plan, they're going to have to start over from scratch. It may take them another 100 years. But unfortunately, we live in a dumb society. So back to this. The people on the volcano-stricken island of St. Vincent are being evacuated to neighboring islands only if they have gotten the jab. That's it, according to the nation's prime minister. Cruise ships have been dispatched to the island that is being partially evacuated after the 4,000-foot high volcano erupted on Friday. People have to be jabbed before they board the cruise ship, says the Prime Minister of St. Vincent and the I forget what that other island's name is, the Grenadines. He said at his press conference the day after the eruption. The chief medical officer would be identifying the persons already jabbed so that they can get them on the ship. I mean, it's like, are you kidding me? Don't have it? All right. Enjoy dying here in the molten lava. Bye. We'll honk the horn on the cruise ship and we'll all wave to you on the back deck while you're burning in molten lava. It's very warm. Don't worry. Are you joking me? Are we allowed? This is a government doing this, not ours in America, but a government. Maybe somebody who listens to this is in the Caribbean or in St. Vincent. Who knows? You're letting your prime minister do this? More than 16,000 people are being evacuated from the red zones, the parts of the island in the most danger. But unless you have it, you're stuck there for good. And I'm not saying if you're stuck there that the whole island's gonna go under. Who even knows though? Because you heard in the video clip, they're saying that this is the beginning of more and more eruptions that are going to occur. It says, but most of the islands, some are due to temporary houses are being sent to temporary housing in the neighboring islands. But most of the islands would require the jab before they take anybody in. If anybody is willing, give me a break. There's people dying here. You can't, and they're still going, you got to have it. That's how insane this is. Oh, man. They said we have to manage all of this during the time of the outbreak. We have managed this outbreak pretty well. We've only had 10 people pass. This is according to the guy. Oh, my gosh. The only island that is not requesting people to be jabbed is St. Lucia. The eruption on Friday left the island struggling with power and water cuts. So, there'll be no water, there'll be no power, and there'll be ash everywhere. Don't worry, you won't be thirsty. That's like the old saying, right? Are they going to make people do like shipwrecked men turning to seawater from dying thirst? Oh my goodness. They're going to force them to drink out of the ocean probably. That's what's next. Then they're saying there are actually people who will not evacuate the island because they don't want the jab. Good for them. And so people are scared of the jab and they opt out of coming to shelter because eventually they would have to adhere to the protocol. Yeah, because they don't want to put something in their body that they don't know what it is. And even everyone else has come out, and all the governments around the world, and all the people who have made the thing, and said they don't know if it works or it doesn't work. Oh, great. So let me put it in my body. Something that might not work. Holy moly. And that sounds crazy to people. That's conspiracy nuts. We need to constantly shame these people on TV and everywhere we can because they don't want to put something in their body that they don't know what it is. They'd rather stay on an island in the volcano as it burns the whole island down and die of no water and no food and nothing else and no power. You know what? I would get my own boat and paddle to St. Lucia if I were there or something. But I'd probably knock on the prime minister's door and say, ask him if he wants to have himself an accident. But this is just unbelievable. And this is the way it's going to continue to go. So yesterday you heard my rant talking about how, just how unbelievable all this is with the government being here to protect the people, serve the people. They work for us. Look at this. This is going on where they're literally allowing people to live on an island where there's no water. It's now uninhabitable and suffer there because they won't get a jab in their arm that they want them to have because they don't want to get the common cough from something that they haven't even proved. I mean, it's unbelievable. I'm going to lose my temper. So serenity now. Unbelievable. I want to remind everyone to please check out my website at callfornuprising.com. I'm sure people will be talking about it over there in the forum. It's a great community over there. It's a great safe place. It's $2.99 a month, but it is well worth it. You can interact, fellowship with other people, share your channel, share whatever you want, as long as it's within reason, of course. But, talk about all these things that are going on. And obviously, with everything that's going on the internet, that's where you'll be able to find me. And I'm going to be uploading some new stuff this week over there as well. So definitely check it out if you haven't. I recommend it to everyone. It really helps this channel as well if you do subscribe. So please consider doing so. I want to thank the Patreons. I want to thank everyone else out there. Reminder, check out the Teespring store if you haven't. And I hope you're all doing well. But guess what? They're going to leave us to die if we don't get the jab. That's the message I'm getting. Unbelievable. God bless all of you and your families.